Hello everybody, I'm really delighted to be here with you today and share my passion for the VR technology. I'm Raccuglia, I'm an innovation product strategist. My job is to find the best mix between user experience approaches, business goals, and the technical and the data constraints. I'm really passionate about the customer experience, XR, and the cognitive sciences. My goal is to invent and reinvent the future of the user experience and share this passion with others. So let's talk about the great topic today, the VR learning, and more precisely, why the VR learning is a powerful opportunity for the learner experience. As you know, the world moves fast. 80% of tomorrow's jobs do not yet exist today. Flexibility, curiosity, and the ability to learn continuously has become essential skills to face this new environment. Learning is reinventing itself, and VR will be the fundamental tool for continuous learning. COVID has demonstrated the limits of our way of learning, and it has evolved enormously with new forms of learning, which are often hybrid learning or blended learning. Virtual reality has demonstrated its effectiveness in the easiness of learning and consolidation of knowledge over the long run. But above all, it's important to understand some fundamental concepts and levels that make VR such an added value too. First, what is an avatar? It's important to define first this concept of avatar in the virtual reality environment. With the birth of the digital and the social networks, we saw the emergence of the notion of digital identity, which has continued to evolve over the years. Today, with the famous metaverse in the making, we are about to experience an extension of this digital identity to a such point that the border between oneself and its virtual representation become blurred. The immersive feeling it shows huge from the sensory and cognitive point of view. Second, it's important to understand the notion of embodiment, which is specific to the virtual reality environment. It's important to differentiate incarnation from the present. The present first is being in a place, whatever it's real or virtual. The incarnation goes much further. It is what makes us identity with the virtual body of your avatar. This is the most powerful notion in the virtual reality, and what makes this added value compared to other technology today. It includes 3 levels at the cognitive level. First, auto-localization, or the fact of feeling oneself in a body and more specifically in one's body, once again, whatever it's real or virtual. Second, the agentivity that represents global motor controls. What? Let me explain. It represents, for example, the whole process that goes from the will to the action to the realization of the action itself. I give you an example. I want to open a door. I will trigger the will to open the door and then perform the movement to open the door, and then have the visual feedback that the door is open. Easy. Third, the property of the body. The fact of feeling one's body is the correlation between what we see and what we feel. If the same sensory stimulus is created simultaneously on your real body and your avatar, your brain will associate the virtual avatar as being your own body, because there is a correlation at the sensorial level. So you understand that's become really difficult to difference yourself and your virtual avatar in virtual reality experience. That explain the reaction, fear, surprise, and the level of commitments that one can have in an immersive experience. So now, why it's a powerful lever for learning? Science has repeatedly demonstrated that the more senses you stimulate while learning, the more knowledge you anchor in the brain in a long-lasting way. This is why it's fundamental to link theoretical learning to practical application. For example, the simple fact of writing manually rather by computer anchors the knowledge more quickly and more durably. It's a little bit like the principle of the Proust Madeleine. You smell, a smell, a sound, and so on, remind you a souvenir inscribed in your memory. But that's not all. Social experiments have also demonstrated that emotion, whichever it is, can also anchor knowledge more lastingly. Learning in a virtual world will create contexts where we will be able to reduce the level of stress and generate stronger emotions. And the last point, gamification. We know that mammals always learn through play, like elephants or dolphins. We know that it's a powerful lever for the speed of learning. Once again, VR will allow the learner to be immersed in a gamified world with all gaming mechanics we know, to the point of making us forget that we are in a learning context, and we will reduce our mental load too. So we also note that immersion in the virtual immersive world allows more creativity and more commitment, and it's essential in the learning process. So now, let's talk about concrete use case. There are many VR learning solutions. For example, immersive escape game for learning language that will eliminate the fear of it changing in a language different from your native language. With this solution, there will be less pain points and fear due to the context of mutual aid, because the goal is to win together within a game context. We also have training solutions for surgeons, mechanics, electronic technicians, and so on. The advantage here is that you can generate a greater number of exercises. For mechanics, for example, no need to have a garage with 300 car models, or to have to cross the country to the training center. No, just design them once in a 3D environment to make them accessible for the training to the mechanics on the web plus via virtual reality headsets. So VR learning has demonstrated us that it's even possible to modify the violent behavior, in particular thanks to the powerful feeling of empathy within the immersive environment. A French company has developed a solution to put yourself in a place of people suffering from physical violence, or victim of sexual harassment, or even with different disabilities. The goal of the solution is always the same: awareness. The goal is to use empathy to raise awareness of people by putting them in the place of the victim or the disabled person. This solution has demonstrated such effectiveness, particularly in raising awareness of domestic violence, that it's reported today in France by the Ministry of Justice to act and change the behavior of people who committed domestic violence. To conclude, as unitized, virtual reality is a particularly powerful tool to promoting the rapidity and the consolidation of long-term knowledge. It's so powerful that incarnation of VR produces effect allow a person to appropriate herself the purpose and the characteristic of an avatar. Social experiments, again, have shown, for example, that it's possible to act on self-esteem and push back limiting beliefs, which sometimes hinder some learners without any reason. So, what does the future hold for the groundbreaking technology? Tomorrow, learning experience not be only personalized but hyper personalized thanks to the emotional adaptive experience, a technology that allows to adjust the learning content via an artificial intelligence according to your emotional states, taking into account your mental load and according to the feedback of the knowledge consolidation wave perceived by sensor through the virtual reality headsets. The learner will become the conductor of its own learning, which will take place in an optimal condition for him. The world of tomorrow is not as far as it seems. Learning is and will remain one of the fundamental levels of the education of our species, which is also constantly evolving. And it's thanks to this capacity of learning, curiosity, and adaptation to our environment that we will build the world of tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. So I hope you will enjoy this quick presentation. Don't hesitate to contact me. It's a real pleasure to share with other passionate about other innovation passion. Thanks you a lot for your attention and have a good day. Thank you.